Radiant team ban. Dire team ban.
Guys, welcome back to the Galaxy Battle. Game 2 between Complexity and VGJ.Storm. Winner. Stop asking. Jesus Christ. I'm Mike Lawrence, going to be your caster for this game. Complexity looking clean in the first game. I would just normally say Complexity are going to be the ones to take this series. They are the favorites here. They've been playing so well lately. But VGJ.Storm, again, it seems like every single game that I cast for this tournament,
Radiant team pick.
VGJ.Storm, they definitely last game. So here's hoping that we have a 3-game set. I'm pretty sure every single NA game I casted for a Galaxy Battle is just a 2-0 stomp, which is like great for my schedule. Like I don't have to actually sit here forever. I could, go off and do other things, but damn, show me some better games, guys. Please make it closer. Don't make it like 3 stomps in a row. That's not fun for anyone. VGJ.Storm, though, with the IO still in the pool, are going to go ahead and grab that. They ban out the Tiny. Smart move up against Complexity. They're going to face up against, though, Witch Doctor as well as a Gyrocopter. Now, first of all, Witch Doctor, nice here to have versus the IO, regardless of what IO partnership is going to be. Usually that cask is going to be doing some serious damage. You know what? The cask is worth it, especially when you pair him up with the Gyrocopter. So this is going to be a very powerful lane opening for the Complexity side. I don't know if it's powerful enough yet, obviously, to really try to take the IO in lane. Normally, the IOs these days are just going to be safe laning. Mid lane IO stacking seems like that's just a giant thing of the past. But IO is kind of a dead hero in lane. Doesn't do anything. Is like Lich, except the worst. You give your allies some sustain, but the only way I think IO is actually good offensively is either with a Tiny, in which case you could toss people back into your tower, and that's very situational, or with a Legion Commander, which I'm pretty sure is just never run anymore. I used to really like that, like the whole Legion IO dual offlane. It was cute as hell. It only worked.
Dire team ban.
If it is going to be an offensive setup for Complexity, Gyrocopter is one of, if not the best, heroes at doing that. They, of course, will need a third hero to kind of contribute into that. But, hey, you're looking at pretty much any given support. As long as it's a hero with either range or some form of mild crowd control, it'll be fine. The finals today or tomorrow? God, I'm not sure. It's a mystery is what it is. VGJ.Storm, though, picking up the IO, picking up a Tusk. Not a bad defensive set of heroes. Certainly needed up against this offensive set from Complexity. Have seen VGJ.Storm do decently with the Tusk in the past, but it is always going to be that finicky hero. Like, it is very, very dependent on landing those shards, walling off ramps, staircases, and whatnot. If you can land it, you then need the follow-up. IO is not going to be that follow-up, so they definitely need some extra damage. Usually you want someone like a Gyrocopter to follow up with you. Razor as well would be another great hero to capitalize off of a blocked off hero. But for right now, all those can be taken out, along with Z-Freak taking out there his Enchantress, which is, again, something that is definitely in the crosshairs of most teams. The Quap as well, a hero that Tusk typically just struggles up against. VGJ.Storm, they have all these defensive tools, but they definitely need someone worth defending.
10 seconds
The pool of that is going to be pretty much infinite. It doesn't really matter who it is. There are always going to be heroes that are worth defending. But I am concerned for them if Complexity really decide to turn up the heat offensively. They definitely put the screws to VGJ.Storm. They have, obviously, stun into stun. They could stun into stun, grabbing someone like a Slardar, or just go full ham. is actually not in the criteria that I outlined earlier. Either a mild CC with which Undying really doesn't have, or range, which Undying also doesn't have. But you know what? That's fine, because Undying craps on tri-lanes more so than any other hero in the game. So for VGJ.Storm, this is just a gigantic dead zone. I'm not sure if they can get any 3 heroes with their last 3 picks that will actually be able to contest this, because this is just that deadly. They will have to kind of sack that lane or from the complexity side.
Radiant team pick.
And they pick up. Well, that's not going to be a response to this lane necessarily. If it is going to be VGJ.Storm looking to quote-unquote dodge that offensive lane, put the Batrider against him, and Batrider's not going to have a great time either, that's for sure, but is at least going to be 1 hero getting crapped on instead of 3.
10 seconds remaining.
Minimize your losses. And this is definitely going to be one of those games where we're likely to see a lot of lane swappage back and forth. And VGJ.Storm have their initiation now with this bat. For the most part, we'll pick it up just because it's a very resilient hero in lane. They're looking for that IO partner. That's going to be that 4 position. And for complexity, with Puck and Queen of Pain being banned out, the
Dire team pick.
Vengeful spirits.
Ten seconds
the
remaining.
real power level of this Vengeful Spirit comes 1 in the form of being able to
5
snap
seconds
Batrider lasso,
remaining.
and 2, making more offensive lanes. They have such powerful lanes, and we'll give them a little bit of push power as well. So if you win your lane, that's all well and good. Being able to push down towers afterwards is certainly not too bad either. Tombstone not CC? I mean, it technically is so slow to stack up that it's usually not a relevant amount. It is, I mean, I guess I just said a slight CC. The zombie slows for like 7% or something stupid like that every single time. It's really kind of pathetic, and you don't get that anyway until at least level 3. Sometimes level 2, I suppose, but it's not going to be your priority as Undying. Complexity are just looking to smork these lanes, and VGJ.Storm, they gotta try to dodge it. Again, I'm not really sure what this lane setup for Complexity is really going to look like. Dual lanes are a possibility. Gyrocopter, can he solo a safe lane? Like a Mood Gyrocopter with Avenge Undying Witch Doctor lane? Phantom Lancer is a hero that will have an escape versus this, but will still just get kind of brick-walled in the lane. Is an okay hero only with the IO. Doesn't really make a gigantic splash when he gets relocated in. Someone like an Ursa, you relocate him in, and, well, he's going to get his claws into someone. Tiny as well. The most classic combo there, or the CK, like, once you get in there, you do a lot of damage instantly. PL is a little bit slower and steadier, especially since PL builds usually revolve around just being annoying, resilient with mana burn. But still is a hero that will have an escape sometimes. Pretty good answer to the Magic Missile and the Cask, both of which are very dodgeable with Doppelgang out. But this is looking like VGJ.Storm might just lose the lane, lose the game in these lanes. There's definitely a chance of that.
5 seconds remaining.
Still, I'm not entirely sure what it's going to be. I'm looking at offensive trial with Avenge Undying Witch Doctor. That's probably one of the deadliest you can get. Gyrocopter mid seems to be the read here from the VGJ.Storm side. I think I'm only seeing Gyrocopter go to side from the casting chair. VGJ.Storm still looking for their mid lane. Rotations coming in will be
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
It's going to be really risky. That is a lifestealer, so it's a mid lane PL. As a lifestealer is a little bit more resilient than PL in the safe lane scenario. Lifestealer together with the Bat Rider as well. Certainly a powerful duo of heroes once you get the Blink Dagger, once you get the Infest going and the Armlet.
Remaining.
For VGJ.Storm,
Remaining.
I'm not really sure if they have enough early game fighting here to compete with Complexity. Again, Lifestealer PL, they're definitely not terrible. Like, Spectre is terrible. But Complexity, all of their picks are designed to crush lanes. And I'm not sure if VGJ.Storm, with their defensive power of IO Tusk, which is definitely not irrelevant, but is kind of very situational. What do Complexity actually want here? It will depend on their lanes. If they are a little bit short on initiation. Clockwork pick seems decent. It doesn't really have much game versus a PL though, so that could be a little bit awkward. Timbersaw. How good is Timbersaw? Timbersaw is actually decent. That is not a Timbersaw. That's an Abaddon. Okay, so mention on the coil. We'll be able to buff that out as well. So you got yourself quite a few options here for Complexity. I'm not really sure he's going to be taking towards the mid lane, so we're going to have a little bit of a mix-up here in the lane department. We'll see as they all decide to ultimately load out, but Abaddon is going to give the Complexity side that extra system. Whoa, what the hell is this? That is absolutely nasty looking. I love it. He's riding an anglerfish. He's riding a Slark gyrocopter. That's so cool, guys. I don't look at cosmetics, like, when they come out. I just don't care about that shit. But that is sick. Undying looks okay as well, but yeah, it's going to give them that extra sustain. Once they get entrenched in the way you actually push in, you get that your core heroes safe, that Vengeful Spirit and Gyrocopter safe. And together with the Aphotic Shield and the swap out, good luck sneaking. I mean, his lane was already going to be at least somewhat contested. Now that he's going to have a really tough time in the mid game, Complexity are working with a very, very offensive timing. A little bit earlier than usual, in fact, because of how powerful their lanes are. So 20 minutes definitely is going to be the time where Complexity are going to be looking to fully hit their stride. Again, that's either a point where they're taking racks or have just all the map control in the world, in which case they can kind of slow roll afterwards. So I'm not sure about this draft from VGJ.Storm. Complexity seem like they are holding all the cards here. Both going to be loading out into their lanes. Going to send Moo on the Abaddon up towards top, face up against, at least for right now, that Lifestealer. Z-Freak is going to be leading the way on the Undying. Got like a weird Gladiator helmet on. Not really sure if that fits with Undying. I'm not really sure what Undying is supposed to be, but I'm pretty sure not a Gladiator. Kyle's on the Witch Doctor, got Chessie on the Vengeful Spirit, and Limb following up as the Gyrocopter. Thinking he's going to be spotted as the Bat Rider. Shards will actually do damage. Shards are so weird, man. Shards going to be thrown out by Flea's Tusk. Got stanking on the Io. Roya is on the Phantom Lancer, and that Lifestealer I mentioned earlier. That's going to be Yawar / Ahsoka.
30 seconds.
And or Ahsoka playing that Lifestealer top lane. Yeah, Lifestealer is going to have an okay farming lane up towards top lane, but even with an Io, even with a Tusk, like killing off Abaddon is always going to be difficult. Very, very durable hero. Not the most armor, but still, he's going to be able to put the fight into this Lifestealer. You can see he's kind of waiting for Lifestealer to approach. Come at me, bro. Okay, now he sees three heroes. He's like, okay, you can have this rune. I'll allow it. Looks like runes will be split either way. 2-2, Stan King gets his, and that's the really important thing here. VGJ.Storm is for Io to get that bounty rune. Alright, guys, that's not a Slark, that's a Slardar. Oh god. My marine biology education, of which I have none, is suddenly revealed. Sincerest apologies. Limp is going to be mid laning up against a Phantom Lancer. I don't believe I've actually seen this matchup ever before. This Gyrocopter, at least nowadays, usually they get their value by getting those points in the homing missile. And homing missile is pretty damn impossible to land versus a Phantom Lancer, and he's going to get jacked up by Flea and Sand King. There are shards, and he knows about it, but this passageway is wide enough that even with the shards, actually is getting pretty well blocked. Takes a lot of damage here, and he doesn't have that much regen left, but at the same time, he wasn't really able to do that much anyway. No creeps died in the meantime. It's like an abyss fish. It's an anglerfish, guys. Jeez. Come on. Get your marine deep sea creatures education. Oh, God. Well, again, I'm not educated in that, so there's no shame there. Up towards top lane, Lifestealer and Io. It'll help deal with this Abaddon, but Z-Freak's going to arrive, and Io really doesn't want to deal with this Undying. He's going to immediately piece out here. Even Lifestealer, he's a strength hero after all, so losing that strength makes your base damage less. Makes your feast more powerful, I guess, up against Undying, but that's just a negligible trade-off for the most part. Could be a rather free-farming Abaddon in this top lane, and over towards bottom, Chessie the Vengeful Spirit, just with coL right now. Only two heroes not able to really just brick wall this Bat Rider just yet. See Bat Rider getting a pretty full creep wave. No range creep here, which kind of sucks. But still, beggars can't be choosers when it comes to Bat Rider lanes. You take whatever you can get, and you'll be happy for it. Mu and Ahsoka once again in the Thunderdome. No points in the blade just yet, but still is doing a lot of damage with the minus 12 strength from that Undying earlier. Mu is going maybe a little bit too deep in here, and he is going to see the fact that Ahsoka has been tangoing up the entire time. Low health pool means that tangos do fill up that bar pretty quickly. And when you get your strength back, that actually kind of is the upside there, if there is an upside to being decayed. But that gets even more dangerous once the blade comes up. Chessie gonna get jumped on the bottom lane, but the lack of hard disables here really is gonna cost them. Snowball gonna dodge the magic missile though. Still there tower diving with Maledict on them. 3 stacks of napalm here as Chessie's gonna try to juke out Sneaking. Not quite gonna work, but coL with the Maledict takes down Flea first. Now is right clicking with the tower onto Stan King. The creeps are there as well. He has one more bottle charge, but the creeps are going to cut him off. Still is able to bottle, but he's taking so much damage as he's going to tether over towards Z-Freak. Takes a magic missile to the dome, and Chessie's still alive. Sneaking, not enough damage, just a level 2 Bat Rider. Z-Freak coming in at just the nick of time. Ultimately, what looks good for VGJ.Storm being able to dodge the magic missile with a snowball turns into an absolute nightmare as they underestimate the power of just a level 1 Maledict. Still, that does do quite a bit of damage. Looks like it will be an old school gyrocopter build. Maxing out that rocket barrage, maxing out that flat cannon. Again, the homing missile is absolute trash up against Phantom Lancer, so you don't want to deal with that. Not worth the skill points. Flat cannon is pretty good versus PL. Rocket barrage is, it's okay only, but sure as hell a lot better than a homing missile. He's gonna get put into a corner though. Limp has rocket barrage landing only onto heroes, but still he is in a corner and in a lot of trouble. Sneaking in more trouble will fall elsewhere, as the Bat Rider will get once again comboed down by this Vengeful Spirit and maybe in some Undying help. Yeah, some Undying help there as well. A 1-for-1 trade, definitely a trade that VGJ.Storm are going to be okay making. Is if at any time you're able to kill off this mid lane gyrocopter, you're going to take it. Lee Stan King on the roam looking for Mu. Very, very weak on health, but what the? Stop, guys! I'm looking at a dive happening top lane and you're diving bottom lane. God damn it, Complexity. Why you gotta be like that? Abaddon chugged down the salve, and he is not really an easy kill any longer, and Bat Rider got his face handed to him on bottom lane. Again, stun into stun. There is nothing that he can really do to help him against that. Mu is in a little bit of trouble now. Shards and Snowball both in level 1. Ahsoka going to get a little bit of extra juice here from Stan King. Mu is going to have a shield for himself, but no, he's too late. Will get dropped thanks to the small stun from that Snowball. Z-Freak also a little bit too late. Maybe a Soul Rip could have gotten him out of there, actually. Maybe not gotten him out of there completely, but maybe giving them a little bit more time to trade some damage. Still, these lanes are kind of as expected, being utterly won here by Complexity. This Bat Rider is having an absolutely miserable time. Is going into a matchup, though, just up against Vengeful Spirit, where if Vengeful Spirit gets a little bit kind of too hasty in her aggression, can fall. Get 4 or 5 stacks of napalm, and Vengeful Spirit, her turn rate is just going to be completely nullified there by Bat Rider. You can just Firefly her down. That is, of course, if he doesn't die again here. Cass will, in fact, bounce from the creep wave back to him with the Maledict on all the right clicks. He's dead to the dots. Nope, he's dead to the right clicks, and coL grabs his 4th kill of the game. It's 5 minutes in, we have a level 4 Witch Doctor. That is so disgustingly above average, it is not even funny. Unless you're a Complexity fan, in which case it is funny. Dude's got some serious cash off of this as well, so yeah, coL's gonna be really happy. Though this is kind of a downside. Witch Doctors always die, so that 4-kill spree is going to be taken at some point in the near future. That's going to be a pretty easy grab there for VGJ.Storm. Someone there, at least. Z-Freak willing to fight over this bounty rune. Let the fist fight begin. Unfortunately, Decay is kind of cheating, so Flea's hitting like a kitten. In the meantime, Z-Freak, well, he's actually going to still grab the rune in Snowball, but his shards are off the mark. And Z-Freak, kind of awkwardly on the low ground, can still help out Moo versus Ahsoka. He's going to buff out that open wounds. Even the clap, I think, lands on the Lifestealer, but now Stan King in the front line's got to be very, very careful here. And they're still getting kills on the Batrider. God, can we just assume that Batrider is always going to be dying so I just don't have to watch him anymore? Because this is definitely a lot more interesting. Yoya jumping in for Z-Freak. He's going to drop the Tombstone. Has a sword for himself as well, but there's so many Phantom Lancers here. Moo as well in a lot of trouble. Not quite level 6 just yet. Kyle's going to arrive, but he doesn't really have anything to save his friendly Abaddon. So Yoya makes a fantastic rotation with a double damage rune. Again, the most subtle effect ever. They really need to add more visuals to double damage. Z-Freak will shrine up. Has so much HP, is going to completely whiff the Decay. Great Delta split there by VGJ, but they both get hit with the Maledict. Now Limp will buzz down Flea. That should be lethal damage, I think. No, he's fine, he's fine, he's fine. We'll get out of there just barely. But Yoya makes a great rotation. Ultimately going to, well, punish this Abaddon just a little bit. Z-Freak as well, unable to land those Decays. Still is not going to die to that secondary fight. But in this bottom lane, the gigantic disaster zone here for VGJ.Storm. Sneaking has died 4 times thus far. All of them going towards Kyle. Unfortunately for the Venge, he would love to get those kills, but hey man, Kyle needs his dues. Vengeful Spirit hits mighty hard, especially with this build. 1 point of Magic Missile, not for the nuke, just for the stun. Get the aura, get the wave, and now with the swap, make those kills even easier. Maybe I should just always have Batrider selected, so when I see his health drop over here, we'll know about it. That seems like a good plan. Looks like mid lane was pretty much a wash. Actually, no, never mind. The Phantom Lancer getting the 1-0-1 compared to the 0-1-0. The Gyrocopter is going to put him quite ahead in the net worth. Lifestealer doing quite okay for himself as well. This lane will be just slightly better for Moo than it has been. Still hasn't been bad, but he's going to get jumped up one more time. Really just waiting for the shield to counter the open wounds. But with that movement speed, thanks to phase boots and tether, Moo's going to take an absolute beating to his regular health pool. Yuar is just playing super offensively. God damn, why can't I catch kills on this bottom lane? Is there some sort of mental block there for me? I think there must be. I'm always watching these fights elsewhere. I'm just not paying attention to bottom. You guys have my sincerest apologies. This is some like B-, C- tier camera work at best. VGJ.Storm get their dues, kill off the Vengeful Spirit. Hero that's one of the heroes at least that's worth the most here for them to take down. I think Kyle's worth quite a bit as well. He has a 5-kill spree. Level 5 on the Witch Doctor as well. And any kill you can get, you're going to take. Again, the Batrider's lane experience was kind of rough. But overall, coming out of the lane's complexity with no huge advantage for them. Going to be a little bit of a wash in the fact that they picked up all these laners. Not able to gain a discernible advantage here as VGJ.Storm is making some really great rotations. Now looking at Chessie, only 1 stack of Napalm. Maledict does go onto him with the Flaming Lasso now up though. Chessie's gonna get swarmed with Blue Smurf. Swapped in Z-Freak to get himself out. Now here comes Limp. With the call down will be most part dodged by the Snowball. In fact, it will completely dodge by the Snowball. I don't think Flea's gonna get out of here as actually Complexity have brought in everybody. But they've saved Chessie. Not entirely sure if that's worth it unless they can get a power push going here. 3 points in the aura will give quite a bit of damage to all these heroes. And the tower's already kind of banged up, so yeah, maybe they can take this down, which will make the 5-man rotation very much so worth it. But of course, top lane, Lifestealer is still just pushing that one by himself, no big deal. Blade is only level 1, the Baden still has yet to pick up that borrowed time, has an extra point that he's just holding. Luckily they have a very deadly 5-man. VGJ.Storm, they have very deadly late gamers, so just avoiding these fights, these 5-on-5 fights that is, going instead for split push and kind of farm value, I think the way that they win this game. Until at a certain point you just team fight.
Time for a date.
Vlad's next up for Moo here. Bat Rider is going to go for the drum still. You have Chessie. Got a lot of help before. Kind of on an island right now is... Let's look in the mid lane. That's where the real party is going to soon be. Limp is clearing out this stack. Phase boot damage quite high. He's not clearing out the stack, actually. Trying to stack it up even more. This is a lot of cash. I don't think VGJ.Storm can actually jack. They just don't have the right heroes for it. It's going to be a lot of gold for him. Started out 300. Let's see what he ends up as. Assuming Z-Freak doesn't take any, which he just took one. He's only hitting it with zombies. Did he just take another? Did Limp get any of this so far? Z-Freak's taking this entire stack, man. Okay, Limp's finally getting some cash. Let's just say they get a lot of cash for complexity. That's probably a lot easier. So far, though, this Phantom Lancer has had zero pressure applied to him with quite honestly easy matchup versus that Gyrocopter, the Lifestealer as well. And a pretty clean lane experience up towards top. Z-Freak, you don't want to die to those Ancients. That'll be embarrassing. But Limp is going to cash in. It does seem like, though, Complexity don't have a terrible late game. Definitely are lacking in great answers to the Phantom Lancer. You would assume that Gyrocopter would be a really good one, but he's only kind of average. Lead. You get maledicted for about no damage. coL, though, still in vision, is going to hit with the shards. He is in a very vulnerable spot now. Zoro's going to come in from the south. He's going to try to tag the shrine with the stick charges. Maybe he'll survive. Call down now coming in. It's going to be mostly dodged by the Doppelgang. In fact, Phantom Lancer with the haste route. He's free and clear. Death Ward's still just buzzing those illusions, doing very little. They saved coL's spree, but at what cost? Because Moo, he has an Aphotic Shield, which will take out those Napalm stacks. Still has yet to pick up his ultimate. All these rotations from VGJ.Storm, I don't think a single one has really costed them a lot. Like that one, it didn't really cost them all that much. They don't lose anyone. They will fall back successfully, so it works out pretty well at the end of the day.
Radiant's middle tower is under
No
attack.
substantial turnaround. Here comes the IO. With, of course, that Phantom Lancer. coL's going to run the other way. He knows he's screwed. And he will give over his killing spree to someone. But in the meantime, here comes the Lifestealer onto Z-Freak. Lots of health to grind through on this Undying, but hey, he has all the time in the world. We'll get 2 kills for the team. And Limp will actually find stanking on the return. Poor IO doesn't have much to do about that. That is going to be the end of the spree from coL, ended by Roya, which is even more gold for this PL. This is Diffusal Blade, all locked up, flying on the courier
Dire's
soon.
middle tower is under attack.
Complexity do not have an advantage coming out of the lane. That is a problem with this draft. We saw in the fight over here how kind of mediocre the Gyrocopter is versus Phantom Lancer. You do hit all of his illusions, but you don't really have enough to kill them off faster than he's making them. You don't have cleave or anything like that from a Magnus to help, or an empower from a Magnus to help out or anything like that. Your damage is still just kind of lacking. coL Limp ultra ground upon, sneaking from nowhere. Grabs the Gyrocopter, brings him right back in, but the cast is still bouncing. Gyrocopter gets his call down out, but it's not going to help him. He sticks up to try to fight this Lifestealer. Not going to happen. coL is well in a little bit of trouble. Ahsoka is going to heal himself through that Maledict. He should be a-okay. No, he messes up, and he's going to go down. Well played indeed, coL. That was totally intentional, I'm sure. They get a freebie on the Lifestealer who messes up his armlet toggling. And it will be a 2-for-1. VGJ do lose a top tier 1 as well, as the Vengeful Spirit maxed out on the auras. Still going to go to town push-wise. VGJ.Storm have a lot of counterplay here. We'll have a lot more in a minute. Sneaking is going to take up to the skies. Z-Freak is going to try to just walk out of there. Maybe try to help Chessie instead, Z-Freak. Are they giving it a try? No, Chessie is just screwed. He's just getting fire flown down. Okay, well, maybe not going to help him. That is an unfortunate spot to be in as a Vengeful Spirit with no Shadow Blade yet up. Not even sure if a Shadow Blade would have helped him. I'm for sure the Bat Rider, once he sees the Shadow Blade completed, is going to be the one holding the dust. Someone's going to be holding dust.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Tower going to be chunked down in mid. Again, Diffusal Blade is still a very valuable damage tool. Limp, oh no, not again. Pretty much solo killed by the Lifestealer. Relocate's going to bring them back in, but since the tower is down, there's nothing that Complexity can do to punish this. This game is looking really good for VGJ.Storm, especially with Moo on the front lines like this. Who does not have mana for an Aphotic Shield, gets Walrus Punch and obliterated. They grab Z-Freak as well. No swap in time, it's not in range. That's 3 heroes down for VGJ.Storm, and they are just rolling with this game. They have dodged the worst part of this game, which is the laning. Quite frankly, minimal losses there from the VGJ side. And now Complexity are in a game state where they have to deal with a mega farmed PL with heroes that aren't really great against that PL. Abaddon and Undying and Witch Doctor are all very, very poor. If you're Vengeful Spirit, you can do decently if it's just the regular Lancer, if you somehow isolate him, but that's just so hard to do without a call down, landing, and clearing out all of his illusions at the same time. Again, very, very hard. So VGJ.Storm only with a 2k, 3k lead now, but the effective lead with their heroes is probably going to make the advantage feel like a little bit more like 5, 6k. It's going to balance things out a little bit. First of Avernus, plus that minus armor, plus just the raw damage given to a whole bunch of heroes with Vengeance Aura will make this Roche pretty quick. Aegis for Limb. VGJ.Storm, they just have to make sure to keep farming, keep looking for those opportunities to pick off Complexity. Complexity may just have to 5-man. Does seem like it's a little bit early for that. They really would want to get at least some items up on this Abaddon. At least this Mana Style completed on Gyrocopter beforehand. At least the Shadow Blade from Vengeful Spirit. But again, beggars can't be choosers. You gotta go for anything you can get at this point. coL will again take the kill on the tower. Dude, coL's been so good at snagging these kills. Every single time. He'll go for more. All the spirits, though, will do quite a bit of damage. coL has picked up 1 point due to Restoration. Do have Moo with some extra sustain, but not really that much. It's definitely an offensive Abaddon build. Fortification, refreshed thanks to the tier 1 dropping. Where is this Batrider? He has a Blink Dagger, but Blink into a Lasso is not that good up against the Vengeful Spirit and an Abaddon. There are very few targets you can go for. Complexity with the 5-man will clean out the mid lane of towers. And though that is great for them, you can see the gold advantage is still very much so in favor of VGJ.Storm, as they will also clean out some towers of their own on bottom lane. Again, full-on heads-up fight. Not really something that VGJ.Storm are going to be super eager to do. At least not yet. They have all the time in the world to do that. Just split up the map, avoid the engagements, farm elsewhere. And yeah, you're going to lose some map control, but you're going to be getting still gold on more impactful heroes at the end of the day. I mean, it's a good play for Complexity to make, for sure. But it's just not going to reward them as much as they really needed to. Now they're stacked. This one's kind of small. We're always going to clean this one up pretty quickly. Heart is right around the corner, actually. 2 fits. Who is going to be spotted. Walrus Hunt is there. He has borrowed time, and his illusions are not being microed, so Moo gets quite a bit of health from those. Still, borrowed time popped off for pretty much no cost. I was going to try to just kill Sneaking with his Maledict. It's a level 4 Maledict, but it's only level 1 Death Ward. People are maybe fighting in the meantime. This is more interesting to see if Sneaking's actually going to die. He's not. coL will be relocated upon, and so far away from his allies will be dropped. Io, is he going to just return by himself? Yes, he will. Ripperino, Io. Okay, no magic missile used, no magic missile needed, apparently. 1 for 1. Pretty nice exchange there, I suppose, for the Complexity side. Even with this Aegis, even with now all these items up on their heroes, I don't know if they can challenge this PL, especially once he gets his heart. And once that happens, it's just all over. You can't kill the PL anymore. They just don't have the damage output. Not to mention the fact that Ahsoka is still working with quite a bit of cash himself, and a Midas after the armlet. A little bit of a conservative farming build here, but he knows that the Phantom Lancer is the real carry. He doesn't have to be going for massive amounts of damage. Just go for these cost-effective kind of value items.
Haste.
Y right around the corner for him. See, is gonna have a haste rune and invis. That was a blink out from Sneaking without necessarily knowing the Vengeful Spirit's on his tail. Is going to actually just loop right around, and now we have an engagement, but Lasso is going to be used first here by the Batrider. Has a blink out, which won't happen. Magic Missile comes in, and Chessie has a haste rune, swaps back Sneaking into nothing. He didn't hit him, so he had the blink out. That was awkward. That really didn't do much. Okay, well, you know, sometimes that's just how the fight breaks down. And they know that Chessie has the Shadow Blade now, so vision check here for the VG Gaming side. Dust on the Tusk, yeah, that's up. Only on the Tusk though, so you know, maybe there's a chance that Chessie gets away with that item once or twice. These illusions though. I thought they nerfed illusions. I was told that illusions were nerfed. That's what I read in the patch notes. I was deceived. Z-Freak, I was just about to say, like, staying up here, spotted at all by yourself is such a risky move. You know that there's going to be relocations. Gyrocopter's going to come in, but they've already lost the Undying and the Tombstone. Even getting this IO here, which they're not even going to do because of that sick relocation range. Or tether range, rather. That was an Undying kill, which is probably worth less. It was worth just about as much as the Tombstone, but that was 500 gold they gained from that one kill because of the fact that he dropped the Tombstone down, kind of as a panic maneuver. Complexity are still trying to split the map up and farm, despite the fact that they're going up against an IO who has been relocating on them every single time they try to do that. It seems like the only thing that Complexity can really do effectively right now is 5-man. But even that door is going to be closing as this PL picks up his heart, which is just 400 gold away. Actually, yeah. Math, rounding errors. You guys know how it is. NA math lull. We're going to try to look for sneaking. Magic missile. Stuns way too far away. Not even in range because it's nighttime, so they can't even see him afterwards for a homing missile. The range of homing missile is quite high, but vision range is always going to be the limiting factor you have to consider. Sneaking going to go in for round 2, though. Is going to blink away, he thinks. Into coL. Cast is not used. Tombstone is used, which is going to do a whole lot of nothing. Moon's going to look to cut off sneaking. He's just wasting all of their time right now. Is force staffing out. He's going to blink out. Is he even going to die? No, he's fine. Dude, you can't kill the Bat Rider ever. Like, he's literally invulnerable. So while Complexity are on that wild goose chase, Ryoya is farming. And the rest of Storm are just getting massively far ahead. I'm not entirely sure about this Gyrocopter mid lane adaptation. For sure it is going to be somewhat countered by the fact that PL was his lane matchup.
Dire's structures are fortified.
But, I mean, this... I'm sure many people will look at this and say, oh yeah, Complexity got outdrafted. I don't really think that's the case. I think they had a plan, a very specific plan, they just couldn't perform it properly. They definitely had a shot to end the game by now, if they had a better shot in their lanes, but it didn't pan out that way. Oh yeah, on the front line, Snaking is here as well. Where's the swap? There it is, and the Aphotic Shield is back. The initiate from Snaking, not that great, but there's still doing a lot of damage here to Chessie. Call down is going to be deployed, live from the outset, doing quite a bit of damage to everybody, but is it going to be enough? Tombstone is down. They have taken down the IO and the Tusk and the Bat Rider now, as Ryoya is the last one standing in the middle of the fight. No more Black Cannon hits there from Limp. They're going to try to retreat. Double buyback forced out from Storm. Ryoya, though, still very healthy. His heart regeneration is going to help him catch up and just push on forward with relocation coming in as well. Limp has another set of Black Cannon shots, Woman style out of the open wounds, and start doing damage to everyone. But Ahsoka is going to ignore him, try to go for coL instead. Ryoya's actually taking quite a bit of damage here from the Maledict and will be dropping as well. He has no buyback. Complexity making some plays. The Alpha Wolf is going to pop right back out into a mess of heroes, and he's going to die. What the hell just happened? I'll tell you what happened. That initiation from VGJ.Storm was great and everything, but Limp was in the safest position possible with his side against the wall, so there's only one angle he can actually get to him. Flat cannoning everyone. Of course, the Tombstone was there the entirety of that engagement. Z-Freak, usually a hero that gets focused down pretty quickly, but in Flesh Golem the entire time, amplifying that damage. Of course, his zombies stacking up as well. VGJ.Storm lose an absolute mess of heroes, and Complexity, their 5-man, as I said before, is super strong. And it looks like they may have an opportunity here to kill off a tier 3. Snaking does have another blink initiation whenever he gets cleaned up from these zombies, but they're going to chase him out with the missile as well. Moose taking quite a bit of damage here, but he has borrowed time, so he's going to be okay. the racks they go. Do they have enough damage for this one? This is so important for complexity, and will do it. Racks out of nowhere. I'm just looking at this. I'm just thinking, like, we have 2-minute delay right now. The chat has no idea that this is gonna happen in 2 minutes. I had no idea. I was just talking about how complexity they had like a much better shot if their lanes went well. Apparently, I'm just like completely freaking wrong because complexity, they still have a powerful enough 5-man. I didn't think they had it in them. They were able to kill off the Heart Phantom Lancer. That just seemed like an impossibility, but my god, they made it happen. Limp, again, had great positioning. It was a full duration Flesh Golem there from the Undying. That additional damage amplification cannot be underestimated. Batrider, he did his job at least as best as he could, but it just was not good enough against all these complexity responses. So melee racks for top is going to get complexity right back into parity. Now, normally it would put them in the driver's seat. Normally it would give them this overwhelming advantage, but because of the fact that PL and Lifesteal are still just this farmed, they're not quite at that advantageous level just yet. They will need another set of racks to really be in the commanding position. Or kill off Ryoya. That's good too. Yeah, they're not really heading towards it. But once the second set falls, or hell, even just the shrines, the tier 2s, like, then complexity will be in a very, very good spot. VGJ.Storm, because they have a Phantom Lancer with travels, a Lifestealer, and an IO, like, they can handle one lane of super creeps. That's not a big deal. To the point where they have to deal with 2-3 lanes, 2.5, let's say, if the ranged Rax stays alive. That's when things get really bad for VGJ.Storm. Got Pipe being built up on Abaddon. Was working with an Alpha Wolf, so even more damage auras for the team. Of course, it's mostly for this Gyrocopter. All about that flat cannon salvo. That talent is going to be make or break. Obviously, you get this every single time. I don't think I've seen a Gyrocopter a single time get, what's on the other side, 11 rocket barrage damage. That's actually so much extra DPS, but it just doesn't matter. Flat cannon is just what you hate. Roshan is going to be scouted out by both sides. Complexity taking a pretty big risk here fighting in the Roche pit, but top lane is still pushing, so they have time on their side. See, oh, he's gonna get wrapped around upon this smoke play. Like to take out the Vengeful Spirit immediately. No buff out of this last one. They will focus down this Vengeful Spirit first thing. She does get down to the low ground, and Siegfried, he's once again with the Tombstone in the front lines, doing so much work with that Flesh Golem. Sneaking's gonna drop, as will the Tusk, and now the Death Ward onto Stan King. Trying to be looking at, not gonna happen. Chessie is somehow still alive. Are you freaking kidding me right now? Ryoya is going to be on the run, but oh my god, I can't believe that the Vengeful Spirit actually survives that engagement just thanks to a Force Staff. Top lane is in full breach, so Ahsoka's got to go ahead and deal with that. And Lance is going to send in some goons to try to contest this Roche, but it's not going to happen. It's a second Roche, that's Aegis Cheese. Here for Limp and Chessie respectively. And Complexity are going freaking Super Saiyan a million, if that's even a thing, in this game. Soul Vessel up on the Undying, so the heals are going to be doing some serious work for them, but they're just going to plow right in with the 5-man. There are no buybacks on the dead heroes right now, and because of the fact that Vengeful Spirit is so high leveled thanks to being in the core position, this tower is going to fall. You got to worry about this Curse of Avernus as well. That attack speed is so incredible when 5 heroes are beating into it. Phantom Lancer going to send, once again, his Goon Squad. Limp going to flip the switch, turn on the Flat Cannon, force some heroes away, but you know what? They got what they came for. 2 racks is going to be claimed here for Complexity. How good is the retreat? Looks like it is flawless so far. Ryoya, Flea, both chasing, but there's a full 5-man up the high ground. Oh, they caught 4 on the low ground, I guess. That's something, but Siegfried can still drop the Tombstone. Limp has no Flat Cannon, running dry on mana. Gotta be careful there. Task will do a little bit, but not that much. Limp is in an awkward spot. In fact, everyone from Complexity in a very awkward spot. They gotta retreat as a full 5-man squad, and it looks like they have been able to do so successfully. Now onto the shrine, the second shrine. And now they are in the driver's seat for real. Sometimes all it takes is one good push. And it looks like they are not going to waste any time looking for the third good push. Shadowblade on Vengeful Spirit pushing forward. They have Flea in a kind of precarious position right now. Chessie, maybe, they know what? There's Limp all the way up here. Chessie's kind of alone. Flea has True Sight. Not going to make that call. What the hell are you doing up there, Limp? You can't fly. You're in a gyrocopter, but you cannot fly. Someone get him down from there. Swap him down. He's fine. Here we go. Butterfly on the gyrocopter, even more damage. Not worth it for VGJ.Storm to contest this tower unless they wrap around and come from this angle. And even then, don't you really know if it's worth it. Limp can put his back against the trees and just start right-clicking in. Roya's going to come with a Shadow Blade. We'll find Kyle, but Kyle has a lot of backup here, so Roya is going to jump the gun a little bit. Has to retreat. Will doppelgang a couple of units here. He's going to jump in, looking for Kyle, but the swap is immediately going to be there. Now Limp on the front lines is dodging so many shots versus Slicer. With the flat cannon turns on, ends up killing off Sneaking. Blue's going to Wars Punch Kyle, but he's still at full HP. And Roya, he's in a lot of trouble. GG is in fact called. The Soul Vessel, negative effect, whatever it's called, preventing Stanky from healing, and it'll be a full 5-man wipe. Complexity. Holy crap. I don't think I've seen a game quite like this. Not in a very long time. Complexity is 5